Welcome in, Fins faithful. Miami Dolphins head coaching search is heating up fast. New names are being added. Others starting to fall off, including Harbaugh. And today we're breaking down exactly who's still in the mix, who looks out, and all the latest buzz surrounding the Dolphins coaching search. Let's dive into it. All right, as we mentioned, the latest news with Harbaugh. Harbaugh to the New York Giants. The deal is for about 5 years, $100 million in total value. You'll obviously become one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL. I know Dolphin fans, are upset about that. Some are, and I get it. But realistically, I don't think Miami was ever in a situation he was looking for. The Giants already have a young quarterback in place and a high draft pick, who makes that job more attractive right now. So somebody like Harbaugh at this point in his career. Don't panic. There's still some really good coaching options available. We'll get to. The search is far from over. Dolphins, as you'll see, are casting a wide net, the right fit for where this team is headed. Still very much out there. Speaking of right fit, and one of my favorites, Dolphins requested finally an interview with Jaguars defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile for their head coaching job. Of course, you guys know Campanile was a very outspoken coach for the Dolphins in 2020 to 23. He was the linebackers coach for the Dolphins. Then he had that maybe worst connection with new general manager John Eric Sullivan. He's the linebackers coach and run game coordinator for Green Bay in 2024. And then presently, he was the defensive coordinator with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who made that nice run to the playoffs and has a really good defense, physical. And if you guys need to get a reminder just of how intense, how much a leader meant, how much guys like Coach Campanile, let's play this video of Hard Knocks when he was with the Miami Dolphins.
Stop you from doing what you want to do. Everybody understands ass whooping, okay? I can go to Greece and somebody start getting their fucking ass whooped. We all understand what's happening, okay? We're all speaking the same language, right? We might not be able to communicate, but if somebody getting their ass kicked, nothing's lost in translation, okay? All over the world, they speak ass whooping, okay? To the day you die, okay? So here's what I'm saying. Let's eliminate that factor. They can't outwork you. Eliminate that, and let's see what the fuck happens. Let the chips fall where they may, okay? Let's all just commit to each other. That's what we're going to do. Don't stop throwing fucking punches. Don't stop attacking the ball. Don't fucking stop finishing blocks, and then we'll see what happens. All right? Love you guys. Let's go have a...
That was Coach Campanile. He might need a really strong offensive coordinator with him, but man, that's the kind of stuff that inspires men, inspires the locker room, something I think Mike McDaniel lacks. So he's going to be a fun one to watch. He's one of my favorites. I hope he makes it to the next round of the interview. I was surprised it took him this long to interview. All right, another guy. And I like, again, where they're looking. They're not just casting it in one certain type of candidate. I believe Kelvin Sheppard is the only Dolphins are the only team that he's interviewing for as of right now. As Ian Rappaport reported, Dolphins have requested to speak with Lions defensive coordinator Kelvin Sheppard for their vacated head coaching job. A rising young coach who's impressed this season. Sheppard gets his first head coaching interview. Yeah, Kelvin is a guy who played for the Dolphins. Remember back in 2014, 2015, gets some ties to the organization. He's been with the Lions. I believe Dan Campbell was there when Sheppard played for the Dolphins. He's been with the Lions since 2021, started with their outside linebackers coach, then head linebacker coach, and he's defensive coordinator. He's one of these young, energetic type coaches, guy who's up and coming. This might not be his time yet, but he's somebody who I like the way they're going about it. And they're not just interviewing one type of candidate; they're casting a wide net, and I like that. So again, probably not a guy who's going to get the job, but I like the direction that they're looking at. Some names that are out of the box. Next guy, Jesse Minter, who's somebody who's the Chargers defensive coordinator, who's somebody I tweeted out, that was someone that I thought if this is a fallback option, he's somebody I really like. And as you can see from Albert Breer, all 8 head coaching openings have requested the interview for Jesse Minter. So in the latest news of that, is Dolphins will conduct the interview today. This is the latest. Me and Rappaport with Minter and Saleh are going to interview today for the head coaching job. So Jesse Minter, up-and-coming coach, I really like a lot. He's somebody who came over with Harbaugh from the University of Michigan. He was there for a year. Has some experience with the Ravens as defensive backs coach. who was president the last few years, the defensive coordinator with the Los Angeles Chargers. So he's a candidate I like. He's somebody, if he ended up getting the job, I know first-time candidates some Dolphins fans don't want, but he's somebody who I like a lot. Another familiar face, Patrick Graham. You'll see the Anderson reports Patrick Graham is flying out Sunday to interview Miami for the Dolphins head coaching position. You guys know Patrick Graham, another guy who's tied with the Dolphins, was our defensive coordinator in 2019, was with Green Bay in 2018 as the linebackers coach and run game coordinator. So that's tied to new GM John Eric Sullivan. He's been the defensive coordinator for the Raiders for the last 3 years. Probably somebody I wouldn't be as excited about, but definitely somebody who's well respected around the league, has ties to the organization, has ties to the new GM. So we'll see where that goes with him. Not my favorite candidate, but somebody who I think is a viable candidate, and again, really respected with the players. So an interview we have completed, and this is a guy, Jeff Hafley. I've been reading a lot online. Dolphin fans are not huge fans of Jeff Hafley. Jeff completed an interview, and Jeff is probably one of the early leaders in the clubhouse because of his experience with new general manager John Eric Sullivan in Green Bay. Of course, he was the defensive coordinator in Green Bay for the last few years. He was the Boston College head coach. Then he was a great coach for that great Ohio State defense in 2019. Then he had various stops as defensive back coach with 49ers and the Browns. He's known really for developing talent, leading defenses, strong background in defensive schemes. Probably wouldn't be my favorite guy, but I think he's probably more of a leader in the clubhouse. I'd say if there's top 3, he's in there with his experience with Coach General Manager Sullivan. I think he's got some fabric to be a head coach. I don't think he'd be as bad as everybody's making it out to be. I know a lot of Dolphin fans not a huge fan of that because they really don't know him that well. But he's somebody who I think is well respected in league circles and has a lot of fabric to be a head coach in the NFL. All right, another name we add to the list here. This one surprised me, Joe Brady. Joe Brady from obviously the Buffalo Bills. He's been with the Bills since 2022. He was a quarterback coach, an interim offensive coordinator in 23, then he's been the offensive coordinator for the last few years. Known kind of for elevating Josh Allen, kind of transforming that Bills offense, particularly in the rushing attack. And of course, he was the passing game coordinator and wide receiver coach in that great LSU 2019 team, the national championship team. Obviously, he had a stint with the Panthers and the Saints. Joe's one of the few offensive minds that they've been interviewing. I think him and Kubiak, if you notice, most of them have been defense, so that's interesting. So that's an interesting name. They added to the list again. They're up to about 11 names on the list. So now let's look at kind of the list in total. Anthony Campanile, we said they requested the interview. Patrick Graham requested. Looks like he'll be flying in on Sunday. Joe Brady just got requested. Robert Saleh, we reported, will be interviewing today. Kelvin Sheppard, we still don't have a date on when he's interviewing. And then Chris Shula, obviously, still not interviewing, still in the playoffs. Kevin Stefanski interviewed on 113 and 114. It's a 2-day interview. Jeff Hafley interviewed again yesterday. Kubiak virtually interviewed at 10. And Jesse Minter, as reported, will be interviewing today. All right, so that's, you look at the coaching search. I love how wide the cast net that they brought under this new general manager Sullivan. They're looking at experienced coaches, but they're also bringing in fresh names. I think that's important. I know everybody wants an experienced coach, but we also have to keep in mind realistically where this team is headed in 2026. This is going to be a rebuild year. There's a lot of dead money on the books. This roster is going to be younger. So don't get upset if they end up going with the first-time head coach. That actually might be the right person for this particular job. Let's be careful not to judge the coaches off one bad game. I've been seeing a lot of that. You can get in trouble, judge off the full body of work. Reacting to the moment causes trouble, and you might end up hiring the wrong candidate and overlook somebody who's got a really good body of work. And we'll keep you updated as this search continues. Drop in the comments who you guys want to be the next head coach of the Dolphins. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. We appreciate it. We'll drop more videos, guys. As always, guys, stay Fins faithful. Till next time, any breaking news, we'll have it for you. Stay Fins faithful and safe.